Hello, everyone, and welcome to Arsenal Pass. Today we have a very special episode for you. We have our spoiler for Tales of Aria. Hayden, I know they sent you something very nice in the mail that you have hidden over there.
I've got it in my
But
hot little
first,
hand.
I just want to get your reactions so far on Tales. How do you feel about the new set? Some of the new classes we've been shown. Just give me your thoughts.
Oh, dude, I'm so hyped. I can't wait for the pre-release in just over 2 weeks now. I'll be playing that. I mean, you'll be playing some Tales of Aria in just a week at the Vegas world premiere, which is super exciting. Love the design of the set so far. Love the flavor of the set. The art is phenomenal. This card that we have is not only spicy, but it has amazing art. I mean, obviously we've got a class card here that I think by the time when we drop our spoiler, I do believe the hero has just been spoiled. So we're going to be talking about a Guardian card, which is I'm so glad we've got another Guardian after Welcome to Wraith, the original set. So yeah, what about yourself, Brendan? Loving it?
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. The Ranger looks amazing. We obviously the double Arsenal slot is something that we've kind of speculated on since we, kind of read the ambiguity of like a card like Command and Conquer. So finally seeing it is very cool. If I can say one thing to get people excited is that after looking at this card, and specifically kind of the talent that's centered around one side of this card, I do think that a very popular deck in the meta, as in Chain, will not operate the way that he currently operates going forward. So definitely going to shake things up. I think that this kind of idea of taxes or frostbites is really interesting and may lead to kind of slowing the game down.
Yeah. Speaking of Frostbite, Brendan, should we reveal our Guardian card? It's a Majestic. I told you, Majestics. My third Majestic in a row from the previous season. Loving getting the Majestics. I shouldn't talk about it too much though. LSS will probably drop me a comment next time, but that's okay. Should we talk about this bad boy, Brendan?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right, Brendan. We've got Endless Winter. So Endless Winter is an Elemental Guardian action attack card. It is, as like I said, it's a Majestic, and it is an old-time specialization. So we have the newest Guardian hero old-time. Actually, at the time of recording this, we're doing this about 12 hours before this video is dropping. We haven't actually seen old-time yet, but we're about to see him. Obviously, the new Guardian hero, and this card has Ice Fusion. So as an additional cost to play Endless Winter, you may reveal an Ice card from your hand. If Endless Winter was fused, whenever the defending hero adds a defending card to this chain link, create a Frost token under their control. To dive into that in a second, I think. And if Endless Winter hits a hero until the end of their next turn, whenever they activate an ability, create a Frostbite token under their control. 8 attack, 3 defense. And I mean, the art on this card is beautiful before we talk about it. That's the first place I want to go. Obviously, we've got the image up here on screen. We do also have, so I was given, and sent by LSS, as everyone has been, a foil version of this. It's really hard to see in the camera, but I mean, the foiling on this, the rainbow foiling is just beautiful. So, yeah, super pumped. Should we talk about this card? Where do you want to start, Brendan?
Sure. I actually want to start by talking about another card or a token by that matter, and that's going to be Frostbite. Because I think in the context to understand this card, you really need to understand what Frostbite is. So, Frostbite is an elemental token aura. Cards and activated abilities you control cost an additional resource. At the beginning of your end phase, or when you play a card or activate an ability, destroy Frostbite. So, obviously, you're going to be putting these under the opponent's control. And yeah, I think this is one of the most exciting mechanics I've seen come out of this new set. I know that you're like, it kind of looks like, oh, double Arsenal, that's so exciting. But really, what's exciting is that this Frostbite token will change deck building as we know it. And as we've kind of elevated, or not elevated, but evolved into Monarch, we have changed our decks to be very kind of red line based, extremely efficient. Most decks are really running as little resources as they can to try to pump out as much damage as they can all the time. And Frostbite totally throws that for a loop. So if you put this in a deck like Agrokatsu, put it against a deck like Chain, it's going to be really hard to play for those Frostbites, and it could sometimes even turn off your entire turn. You could literally do nothing. So I look at this card and I think, how am I going to deal with this? I mean, it comes in for 8, and we know it's Guardian, so can they give it Dominate? Yeah, it looks like trouble.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely give it Dominate, even if it's not a hero ability. Obviously, like Bravos, you've got cards that give it Dominate you in the form of the 2-drop. I've just blanked on the name, but the 2-drop that gives +3.
Merging Dominance?
Yeah, Merging Dominance, that's the one. So it's in the name, right? So things like that. And I think the really cool thing about this is, like, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation with this card, right? So, if it's fused, any card, including equipment, that gets added to defend this card. So from hand, from Arsenal, it just says whenever the defending hero adds a defending card to the chain link. So again, doesn't matter what it is, that's going to immediately create a Frost token under their control, Frostbite token. So, they could be in for trying to just block this out for one or two cards that's still going to create one or two frostbites. And if they don't, regardless of if this has been fused or not, if it hits until end of turn whenever they activate an ability. So, Chain wants to create a Soul Shackle to get go again, create a Frostbite token. So, there's a really powerful effect on Endless Winter. I think this is a card, and of course, it's a specialization, and very rarely are specialization cards weak cards. We're going to see this have a pretty big impact on this format, I think. We already saw what Lexi does, but Old Time looks, in terms of what it can do to some of these decks in the current format, looks maybe even more impactful.
Yeah, I think that Oldheim, obviously, we have a very, very little concept, but it does look a bit more control-y and
Yeah.
looks like it will be able to kind of dominate that archetype, which I know is like an archetype that a lot of people miss from Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising, and Crucible. We have sort of come out of the control playing control, and it's more. We are very much in an aggressive format. So I've already seen in like some little groups that I'm in, people getting super excited that control will kind of have another way to really win the game. Other than I think the only iteration of control that is playing at the moment is more fatigue based, where you could have like also have a proactive plan in your control deck. We can see our second cycles of our deck again. There's so many exciting things.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, one thing I will say though is maybe not even control. I mean, one card that immediately springs to mind for me with a card like this is like we said, Emerging Dominance, which would mean that it's not super controlling, right? It's probably a bit more of a mid-rangey setup with some these effects that can really hose certain turns from your opponent. Come to Fight, it's another one that comes to mind. So. Yeah, I mean, it could be control, or it could be a bit more sort of mid-rangey with these aspects of setting up these attacks that can, for the pivotal turns. And you've got, Endless Winter is an effect that clearly has, some impact and is going to have some impact no matter what the opponent does. So yeah, super excited for it. But on that one, oh, sorry, Gibran.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I would sum that up in the sense that you don't really have to go hardcore control, but you'll have like a disruptive kind of base deck, right? That will kind of tempo out your opponent. So if you're able to kind of play out your turns how you want to, but your opponent, as a result of that, has to pay an extra one, extra two resources every time. Like if anybody's ever been hit by hamstring shot, you know how annoying it can be. Now imagine that 2-3x. Yeah, it's pretty good. So even in a mid-range build, even if you were being a bit more aggressive, like aggro v aggro, I wouldn't want to be the aggro deck that has to pay two or three extra resources to start my turn.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right. On that note, that's Endless Winter from us. We do have, coming obviously next week is the world premiere, and then pre-release the weekend after. The week of the pre-release, we will be doing our set review as we did for Monarch. So super excited to do that. Looks like we'll have basically all of the cards available because of the world premiere, unlike we did last time. So yeah, super pumped to be doing that and getting some limited information out there before we head into pre-release. But on that,
awesome.
Brennan.
Yep. Thanks so much, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Later.